So I became a social worker because of my own lived experiences with ADHD, anxiety, and depression. I've always been somebody that felt emotions heavily and kind of led with empathy, so I really wanted to make sure that I could be in a profession where I could help others and kind of walk alongside them.
So I became a social worker because I utilize social workers in some of my more hard moments through life, and I really believe that having somebody to kind of walk with you and alongside you when life gets hard and uncomfortable and scary is really, really meaningful and impactful. Just kind of have that connection and that compassion and that curiosity when it comes to interacting with people. So I enjoy being able to be there for the hard moments because we all could use that.
I became a social worker because I was a foster youth. And so for me, growing up, kind of introduced to social work early and how that can support families and the larger community kind of was instilled in me, this call to service, very young.
So with me, I really fell in love with psychology, anthropology, humanities, anything dealing with the human mind. It came to like structure in general, especially when it comes into terms of like the household dynamic. The home environment, that's where it all starts when it comes to any of us. Our environment basically determines and interprets our daily functioning. So being a social worker and learning different avenues and variances of what that is. And I knew I wanted to work in an effective population, dealing with families, to start with the family structure piece. So from there, I made it my own in what therapy looked like essentially for each kid, and it is person-centered. So going off of that modality and what that looks like for families, meaning where they're at, that's how I became a social worker.
I became a social worker in high school. I took a test that said I would be a great grief counselor, and I explored that further. In college, I took some psych classes and learned about different disorders and diagnoses, and I became fascinated in helping people work through those things and the struggles in their life. People came to me all the time, friends, family, asking for advice or how I could help. I was deemed approachable, and ever since then it took off. I took an intro to social work class and I was hooked from there.
I became a social worker because as a kid, I experienced some really traumatic things, abuse and neglect as well, and I didn't have anyone there for me. In my family, we had a culture of you stiff up your upper lip, you move on, you deal with it on your own type of thing, and I internalized that message for a really long time until I was well into being an adult, and I met my own social worker, and they helped me see everything and unpack everything, and empowered me to see that I actually had the power and control to change the things that I needed to change. And I wanted to be that, and I've always wanted to be that type of person for someone else. And being a social worker was just that pathway to do that.
Many reasons to why I became a social worker. I've always had a really big passion for just helping individuals meet their full potential and their goals and the accomplishments that they seek over in life. It's been a really big pleasure for me throughout life to serve others in my community. I always knew that whatever I did when I went off to school, I wanted to come back home and give back to Muskegon County, because Muskegon County is home for me. In that journey of figuring out, how to take my love and passion for helping others and serving those in need, came social work, right? Being able to do what I already love as a profession.